In chapter 149, can Izuku and Eraserhead escape the trap that Overhaul and the Yakuza set with the help of Toga and Double? Let's find out, but first, let's go back in time for some introductions. Toga and Double introduce themselves to Overhaul and his crew, but state they don't like them and are only following orders to help. Overhaul tells them that he's sorry for what happened earlier with him killing one of their comrades, but please overlook their anger for him and cooperate while they're temporarily working for him. Double asks them what job do you want them to do. Overhaul says he just wants them to follow orders like any of his men. So for them to trust Toga and Double, they need to explain what their quirks are to make it easier to work together. Toga didn't like how Overhaul basically said depending on how useful their quirks were decided whether or not they were of any use to him, and decided that she's not going to tell him. That answer didn't sit well with one of them and said that if Overhaul gives an order you follow it, and that this isn't some street gang but the Yakuza. Double follows Toga and says he ain't telling them what he can do, but he does it anyway, and explains that he can duplicate anything, but the drawback is he needs precise measurements like height, chest size, and foot size for clones of people. But without those, the clones come out as incomplete trash. The only difference between a clone and the original is how much damage the clone can take before falling apart. He can only clone 2 at a time, but the more he makes, the less damage the clones can withstand. Toga just stares at Double and says after everything she just said to Overhaul, Double went ahead and did it anyway, and made her look like a fool. Then Toga goes ahead and explains her quirk that she can transform into anyone by drinking their blood, though the blood turns into energy for that transformation, so depending on how much she drank gives a time limit to that transformation. 1 cup of blood is a day's worth of time for that transformation. Also, if she drinks multiple people's blood at once, she can change into any one of them. She can also transform her clothes, but she needs to be naked to do so, which she says it's embarrassing, though she didn't care if Izuku saw her naked. I'm just saying. Toga stands there as she couldn't believe she just told them her quirk, and they ask one more question: is the League of Villains going to betray us? They say no, and Overhaul welcomes them but says they can't do whatever they want as he still doesn't trust them, so they will only be let out on missions until they gain his trust. Toga complains that she wants to be free, and some of Overhaul's men say that they are to do what they are told and do not take them lightly. Let's get back to the present, where Toga is already betraying Overhaul by helping Izuku take down one of his men, because they don't have the power to do so, and isn't that what a hero is for? Toga is helping Izuku locate the Yakuza member who created the maze by talking shit about them, to which Izuku can hear his voice. Toga says he's a wimp who is only good for hiding and looking down at others from the shadows because he knows he's weak. He explodes with rage, but unfortunately for him, Izuku locates him and delivers a smash right into his gut. But before he gets caught, they tell him that they do what they want. And bye. Sir Night-Eye tells Eraserhead and Izuku that they have been used, but thanks to that, they are now free from the maze. But as the chapter ends, we see that Togata caught up to Overhaul to ask a few more questions. It's an interesting chapter as we delve into how Toga's quirk actually works, and it's pretty interesting that in fact that not only can she transform into the person that she ingests their blood from, that blood becomes that power source for her transformation, so it has a time limit, and 1 cup of blood is equal to 1 day's worth of power for that transformation. For people who don't know, she can transform into anyone who she ingests their blood from, but she cannot copy their quirks. She can copy their appearance and their voice, but she cannot copy their quirk, which can tell people off after a while. And Double, we've seen, he did give an explanation in earlier chapters about his predicament on how he can copy people and other things. And we also see that Toga will betray whoever she does not like, and indirectly help people that she actually does like. And in this way, she does like Izuku, because in earlier chapters we see that she does have a weird crush on him for whatever reason. We see that Overhaul's front line is breaking down because one of the things that Toga said about the Yakuza is that they may be comrades, but they don't trust each other, and that will be their downfall. In fact, that's what she used to her advantage to help out Izuku and Eraserhead to break through the maze. And it's a really good chapter, and I can't wait for the next one. But that's it for today. Leave a comment below on what your thoughts on this chapter was, and see you guys next time.